What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen that title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, please. Got it here. This is Jake Tapper and Mayor Jacob Frey. Chance to de-escalate from earlier rhetoric suggesting that the Minnesota National Guard may fight ICE in the streets. When it comes down to it. Frey passes with the word,
which gets eyes.
Word salad
We'll
that
get
opens
right now.
call
Do that.
And let me tell y'all something. As I'm saying this, this stuff is completely insane. As you literally have these individuals that are constantly inciting more and more violence. I truly do not get that, y'all. Truly don't get it.
Governor Walz has mobilized the Minnesota National Guard. He has not yet deployed them. I want to play something that you said earlier this week.
We have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have two governmental entities that are literally fighting one another.
Literally fighting one another is pretty stark. Are you worried that's where this is actually heading, with the National Guard and local police on one side in Minneapolis and active duty troops and ICE agents and other federal law enforcement on the other, actually literally fighting, physically fighting?
As I said then, and I'll say now, we can't have that in America. And so what we are hopeful for here is the judicial system to do its part, to see that necessary check and balance, to recognize that we can't have cities occupied in the United States that simply have a different view from the White House. Now it's Minneapolis, but importantly, and I want to talk to everybody throughout America, I know you love your family, your neighborhood. I know that you love your town, regardless of where you are. And just imagine what it would feel like if you suddenly had an administration, a deployment of troops, of agents come into your city by the thousands, vastly outnumber your police department, and cause chaos on your streets. If the goal here is to create peace and safety and calm, there's a very clear antidote here, which is leave. The second these ICE agents leave the city, I'm telling you, you're going to have calm in Minneapolis, and you will continue to see the great comeback that we had been experiencing. Let us get back to that comeback. Let us live in peace. Let us have businesses that are open and daycares where you don't need to escort staff to and from. Let us live in a place where, look, in Minneapolis, we'll stand up. If we have to sled down ice hills to get to a protest, we'll do that. If we've got to make sure that people are escorted to the grocery store, we'll do that. But truthfully, we want to get back to a place where we can just love on our city, do our daily activities, just like any other town in America.
I ain't gonna lie. I truly feel like it's very, very sad that he's on. First of all, you get the lies, but to sit there and have to threaten it like, oh yeah, ICE needs to leave, ICE needs to do this, ICE needs to do that, and then everything will be calm. Then everything will be. You're basically saying everything's going to be bad. Everything's going to be like this. Everything's going to be like that. And I really, truly don't care. I truly don't care. And we're going to threaten this like, y'all get all this figured out. And y'all need to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's giving so much of that. And that's what I don't like. I truly don't like the simple fact that he's wanting more and more violence. I truly don't like that. And I definitely say, and I said this in my last video as well, shame on those parents that are constantly taking, putting these kids in a sense of harm's way when it comes to going to these protests. I've been seeing that it's been babies, toddlers, that are at these protests, and it's definitely sickening. You have more though. Says ICE and border agents are getting kicked out of the Hilton Hotel in St. Paul because of safety concerns. Says leftists are literally trying to break in to these, these local businesses, especially, within these hotels. And it's definitely sad, it's definitely sad, that these individuals have to go through this.
This is a developing story, but we are now learning that ICE and Border Patrol agents are being kicked out of this hotel, the DoubleTree by Hilton in St. Paul downtown. The hotel says it's due to safety concerns. We did confirm with the hotel that all guests did receive a memo that all government employees have to be checked out by noon. The other guests are allowed to stay. The hotel says it's due to safety concerns. We just walked in, tried to book a room. We couldn't. They did confirm that it is closing. We do see a truck now leaving. Now, this is still a developing situation here in downtown Minneapolis. We're also learning that President Trump also has the Army's 11th Airborne Division on standby to be deployed here to Minnesota. So once again, this is still a developing situation on what's going on here on the ground. But just even driving around the city, you see lots of anti-ICE signs, anti-Border Patrol signs, and now ICE agents here will have to find a new room after federal.
They didn't have no problem back in 2016 when Obama was doing that. Nothing was said about that. But now that Trump's doing something about it, they got something to say about it. CNN is a fucking piece of shit news company.
Are now being kicked out. We're still trying to learn some more information. We see another vehicle there also exiting the hotel as we were approaching noon. The other guests are allowed to finish the reservation. Still a developing situation here from St. Paul downtown.
Individuals that are literally doing their job and doing what they need to do, as far as, when it comes to, doing what's right. And I truly just hate that, they have to go through that. They have to constantly go through that just because of, the ignorance, that these individuals have. It's definitely sickening. And I don't like it whatsoever. Got it right here. Minneapolis Mayor Fry erupts in panic after President Trump puts 1,500 troops on standby. Check it out.
News that there are 1,500 active duty U.S. soldiers on standby to deploy to your state.
This act was clearly designed to intimidate the people of Minneapolis. And here's the thing, we're not going to be intimidated. If the goal here is safety, we've got many mechanisms to achieve safety. And the best way to get safety is not to have an influx of even more agents, and in this case, military, in Minneapolis. Right now, we have about 600 police officers, and they've got 3,000 or so ICE agents and Border Control. That they are now talking about deploying 1,500 military. This is, well, it's ridiculous, but we will not be intimidated by the actions of this federal government.
Earlier this news that there are 50.
Definitely sad. It says, we will not be intimidated by this federal government. Every time he gets on any type of platform, it'll be something, one complete sentence, and he's hyping people up each and every time. And it's truly sickening that he's doing this. Check it out here, Stephen Miller.
What Democrats are doing is vote harvesting, fraud harvesting, ballot harvesting, crime harvesting. Ask yourself, why would Fry, why would Walsh
Dana
sanction such egregious violence against ICE officers? Because they understand that this scheme, this mass migration scheme, is the heart of the Democratic Party's political power. It is their plan for power today and long into the future. So they know that if this administration of President Trump is successful in reversing this invasion, it will deal a generational blow to Democrat political power.
Well, before I let you go,
Definitely. Pretty sad, pretty sickening, y'all. Pretty sad, pretty sickening. And everybody's seeing it. Literally everybody's seeing it. Then you have individuals that's in denial about it. I'm telling y'all. One thing about it, Greg Malvino says ICE isn't leaving Minnesota. Check it out. Greg Malvino, y'all.
We're going to be here till that mission, what you just spoke of, those criminal aliens, those bad people and bad things, when we finish arresting all of them, perhaps our mission will be over here.
so months or weeks, what are we thinking?
We're making great strides in the amount of individuals that we are arresting. We've got thousands of officers here. We're going to continue to do that. And,